Welcome, parents and carers, to the Wombat Primary School Humanities Information Night.
Hello everybody. As you know, your child may be currently undergoing or starting a unit of study called Humanities. Now, when most people think of humanities, they mainly think of the historical aspect of it. Now, while they're not completely wrong, they are only just scratching the surface of what humanities has to offer. Humanities is an umbrella term, covering many topics such as history, economics, geography, and even politics. Even though it covers that wide range of subjects, it only takes aspects within it. Now, the real question is, why exactly do we teach humanities? The main reason is to show the students a different perspective of history and make them to begin to understand different perspectives. By exposing the students to different perspectives and showing them what's happening in the world, they are able to develop their own ideas. The main focus of the subject is for the student to understand how our world has been affected by past events. Students are able to think critically, empathize, and determine if past actions were right or wrong. By presenting the students with information such as the history of Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders, it allows them to have an opinion on radical problems that may be relevant to them. By having students handle topics such as these, it allows for them to go into the future without needing to make the same mistakes that have been made. By tackling issues in modern society, it allows the students to have a sense of responsibility as they try and solve it. Students can understand what is right and wrong and change their morals to shape a better future for everyone. Overall, the subject helps promote the students' skills such as empathizing, critical thinking, and problem solving. Humanities is there to help connect students to the real world and issues that have a massive impact on many people's lives. By allowing the student to be able to handle issues like this without consequence is one of the many aspects humanity offers. Many other aspects such as being able to read and draw maps, understanding how different countries are disadvantaged, and how to be ethically and morally right are all aspects that humanities combines to help create the subject. By implementing issues such as helping students improve on important skills for any subject.
At Wombat Primary School, we work hard to maintain the inclusion of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives into our humanities program. We do this by following the Australian curriculum to help guide our lessons towards providing an intriguing and engaging learning environment for all students from all different cultures. As Australia's oldest continuous living culture, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have shaped our past, present, and future. It is important that students gain understanding into this rich and diverse history and way of life. It is important that students become aware of the historical series of events that has shaped Australia and its effects on the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Through our humanities program, students are involved in experiences that shape their understanding of the Aboriginal people and their tie to the land as the traditional custodians. Every educator in our humanities team strives to be of the highest standard to ensure that the AITSL professional standards for teachers are met. This ensures that all of our educators are well equipped to demonstrate an in-depth knowledge of, understanding of, and respect for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander languages, histories, and cultures. At Wombat Primary School, we use the 3 R's prototype to shape our delivery of our humanities program. The 3 R's stand for respect, relationships, and reconciliation, and incorporate self-reflection, a clear understanding of different cultures within the classroom, and thoroughly understanding the educational content so that it can be delivered in a respectful manner. As a whole school, we bring this knowledge to important and significant dates for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, such as NAIDOC Week, which is the 1st to the 2nd Sunday in July, Harmony Day, which is on the 21st of March, and Reconciliation Week, which is held between the 27th of May and the 3rd of June. Each of these days help to celebrate cultural diversity and inclusiveness.
The pedagogical approach that our school will be taking will be one of inquiry-based learning. By encouraging inquiry in the classroom, students are able to engage their own emotions into the context of humanities, as well as keeping topics far more relevant to the student, as opposed to just simply feeding them information. This approach allows for ideas and knowledge to be retained far better due to the emotional aspect that is involved. In order to keep teaching standards high, this inquiry-based learning method will help instill confidence in our educators. Greater confidence in teaching practices which involve inquiry-based learning have been proven. 75% confidence levels as opposed to 40% prior to having an inquiry-based approach. As technology is ever changing and growing in the 21st century, a strong focus on ICT in the classroom is also highly encouraged. In the 21st century, an effective teacher needs to be aware of new technologies as well as their implications. Various different mediums will be used, such as YouTube, digital presentations designed either by teachers or students, the use of iPads in the classroom, as well as many other different applications of technology. The possibilities are very vast and broad. Throughout the school year, there will be many opportunities to see this inquiry-based learning approach in action. One such example is the opportunity that the students have to visit the Melbourne Museum and explore the Bunjalaka exhibit, which celebrates Aboriginal culture, engineering, music, art, and various other aspects of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. While at the museum, students will have the opportunity to learn more about their culture. During the visits, students will have various activities to undertake at different parts of the museum. These activities include things such as filling in worksheets, interacting with the exhibit where possible, and finding various items or artworks that are on display at the museum. Part of the museum visit will involve students looking at aspects of how Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders' lifestyles compares to their own. This will be expanded on in many different ways. One example is through a bushwalk, where students will have the opportunity to explore bush tucker, how Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander people used to source food. One other aspect will be the art that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders would create. Students will have an opportunity to recreate some of these artworks, as well as exploring their music, which is very unique, as well as exploring engineering, such as the housing that was used, the instruments construction, and many other various aspects of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture.
Evaluating and celebrating the learning process. It first starts with the learner through the effective use of teaching pedagogy to deliver the information following the Victorian strands. The learning can be measured through a range of assessment, though the way our school celebrates students' work aside from the traditional test and retain knowledge after learning is through a range of ways such as micro-assessments. For example, role-play activities. This is creative for the students and they get to group together and demonstrate one aspect of their learning to share with the class. This way the students get to recap and relearn with each other as well as celebrate what their classmates have to share. As at the end of their presentation they receive a round of applause and 2 students get to say one thing they learned from the role play. This way the teacher also gets an idea of how the students are understanding the work. Also, this micro teaching is engaging and something that involves all the children whilst allowing them to practice public speaking. During this assessment, where a misunderstanding or challenge may arise about the work, this is an opportunity for the teacher to respond and give aid, whilst also having the opportunity to clear up some area of challenge for another student. Though whilst this is done, giving praise in another area of the demonstration to build up the students' self-esteem also.